What's up, everybody? It is Stephen Story. I'm back at it again with another independent insurance adjusting live question and answer session. Getting everything set up now. Guys, I'm here to answer all of your questions about insurance adjusting, about independent insurance adjusting. If you've already taken my course and you got questions about the licensing or anything like that, feel free to make comments. Now, this is on Facebook, Periscope, and YouTube Live right now. If you're watching this on replay, if you have any questions, please message me on any of these social networks that you're on right now, either Facebook, YouTube, or Periscope. I'm more than happy to answer all of your questions. But for right now, guys, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over a bit of what independent insurance adjusting is, what it is not, some of the requirements for independent insurance adjusting, and then from there, I'm going to answer y'all's questions. Feel free to ask questions as as I go through this, and I'll put some of the questions here where my name is. I'll highlight those questions. But first of all, I'm going to tell y'all a bit about myself. My name is Stephen Story. I have been a licensed independent insurance adjuster since December 2015. I have worked 20 plus independent insurance adjusting, what we call deployment. So that's an assignment or a contract to work for an insurance company, for example, State Farm or Allstate or Progressive. I've worked all across the United States and Canada several times, and I've made hundreds of thousands of dollars in this industry. And I want to teach you on how you can do the same thing. You might not have the same goals as I do, whether it's traveling a lot or income goals, but I do want to at least allow you to have an option to earn, to get a new higher income earning skill in a industry that many people don't know about. Okay, so I'm from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. I did not finish college. I got into the insurance industry, I think in 2010. Yeah, 2010 now. I was in bail bonding first. No, I'm sorry. I was selling insurance first, and I moved to another part of the insurance industry, which is bail bonding. And then years later, my mom sold her insurance agency, got into insurance adjusting, and then she told me about it, told me the money that was in it. And I decided, I said, hey, you know what? I've been in this industry before. Let me do it again a different way, because the money you're making, I need to make some of it myself. So at that time, I was personal training, struggling to make ends meet, and I had got licensed, but I didn't want to work at a desk. And she said, "No, Steve, just try it out." And so my first deployment, I think I was doing like $36.50 an hour, 60 hours a week. So any of y'all know how to do math? That was about $2,300 a week on my first job. Okay, this is without a college degree, without anything. First job as an independent insurance adjuster, I did that. I got a couple more deployments after that. Then I worked for 7 months straight, made about $70K. And then after that, the rest was history. I just started getting deployed all the time, started working hurricane claims. I was working auto claims. I started working for claims for companies like Home Depot, doing warranty claims. I wasn't doing straight up insurance adjusting, right? You can still work for industries that are adjacent to insurance adjusting. And it's been a fun ride ever since. I'm licensed. Normally, I hold anywhere from 8 to 13 state licenses. And I have probably a dozen certifications that I've acquired over the years. If you're new to the industry, don't worry so much about getting a ton of certifications all at once or buying a ton of licenses at once. Normally, I suggest people buy 5 licenses. So you're going to get a home state license, and then I recommend getting another 5 licenses after that, so you can start to stick out from the crowd. Now, next thing, guys, I'm gonna go into the requirements. The requirements of being an independent insurance adjuster. Okay, so first requirement, guys, this is a big one, and I really want you all to check your state's Department of Insurance website. Okay, you need to check. You cannot have any felonies that have to do with fraud, theft, or moral turpitude. So anything involving theft or fraud or things like that, you're not going to be able to qualify as an independent insurance adjuster. But check the State Department of Insurance website to make sure, okay? Because everybody's state is different. They all have different what's the word? They all have different requirements regarding criminal backgrounds. Okay. Next thing, you are going to have a GED or at least a high school diploma. You do have to be a U.S. citizen. All right. What I'm speaking specifically about is the United States insurance adjusting market. There is insurance adjusting in England and Canada and in the Caribbean, but for the sake of this video, we're going to be talking specifically about the United States of America's insurance adjusting industry. Okay. So if you're not from the United States, you don't live in the United States, guys, this is not the stream for you. Okay. So you gotta be qualified, you gotta be a US citizen, gotta have a GED or a high school diploma, can't have any crazy felonies. All right. And then you have to be able to pass a pre-licensing test. All right. Pre-licensing test, depending on the state, you can get it done in a week. I think for the state I did it in, which was Alabama, it took me about 30 days of studying. I was able to study online with a pre-licensing course through adjusterpro.com. So adjusterpro.com, y'all can go there. We'll put it up on the screen for y'all so you can see that. And that's where you would get your, that is where you would get your, what's the word? You would get your pre-licensing course. I'll see that right there, adjusterpro.com. That's where you go to. Go through, and now again, guys, every state's requirement is different. I know Alaska, California, and New York all have some much different requirements. So if you live in any of those states, Hawaii as well, those 4 states, I would be looking at my state's Department of Insurance website and seeing what the requirements are, guys. I'm only telling you that because a lot of my students have ran into a couple little obstacles there we had to work through. All right. Next thing, guys, every state in the United States does not require a license for insurance adjusting. What does that mean for you? So like, let's say, for example, you live in, let's see, a state that doesn't have, let's say it's like 15, 20 states that don't have licensing. If you live in one of those states, what you have to do is you have to designate what's called designate a home state. So you're going to get a non-resident home state license. Now, usually I suggest people get Texas, Indiana, or Florida licenses if you do not have a requirement for an independent adjusting license to be an independent adjuster in your state. Okay, but you do have to get a license. Just because your state doesn't require it doesn't mean that you won't be one of those people who doesn't need a license. You have to have a license. It's just with a different state. All right. Guys, if I'm going too fast on anything, guys, please put a comment there. Let me know. I got a lot. I'm saying all this off the top of my head, so I want to keep everything structured. But if I'm not explaining something well, I do want to explain it well to you all. Massachusetts is one of them. Got mine in Texas. Thank you, Yvonne, for that one. So yeah, so like for example, Massachusetts, you can choose which state. Like I know I think Virginia. One of the guys got his license in Virginia, and then he lives in Virginia, but he chose Florida as his home state. So Texas and Florida are usually pretty popular for people who like to choose their home state. For those of you all who don't have a license, your state doesn't have a license requirement. Okay. Now moving on, we're going to talk about some of the different types of independent insurance adjusting. We're about 10 minutes in, guys. So if y'all just now joining me, you might want to catch the replay. I did go over some pertinent information in the first 5 minutes of this. But moving on, we're going to go and talk into the niches of insurance adjusting. Now, the beautiful thing about this business, guys, is that you can do many types of insurance adjusting and you can do it many different ways. All right. So if you're a person who has a family, you need to be within a 50, 60 mile radius. Depending on the state you work in, you might be able to work and come home every day. You might not travel like I do. My mother, for example, she's been working at the same location for 3 years now. All right. And so it's been very good for her where she hasn't had to travel so much. I think she's worked in 3 or 4 locations over the past 6 years. I worked in 25 locations in the last 4 years. I like to travel. I like to move around. I like to work for many different companies. So it fits my personality. But I know people who have, children at home, young kids, and they're able to work independent insurance adjusting similar to how they would work a regular 9 to 5 job when they're able to go back and forth to their home every day and sleep in their bed every night. Now that's desk adjusting. We have a different type of adjusting called field adjusting. With field adjusting, you would go out and inspect property or auto physically. Now, if you're a person that's an outdoors type of person, or you like being alone while you do your work, field adjusting is a perfect situation for you. Normally, I work 1 or 2 field adjusting deployments per year. This year, because of the pandemic, was a bit different. So I didn't go out into the field like normal, but normally I will hop on some roofs or go inspect some cars at some point in the year, because I do like being out and about. And that is something that's, because I like to change things up so much, and I get to do that and still be in this career. So I do know other people who have been in the business and they'll work desk for a couple of years and then go work field adjusting for a year or so. They'll go out and look at roofs or inspect houses, flooded out homes, or they go inspect cars or inspect car accidents after accidents have happened. I knew a guy, that's all he did. He would drive up and down the coast of California, hanging out, and he would inspect cars. So we have many different niches, but one of them is, the main ones are desk adjusting, where you go to a desk, you sit at a cubicle just like any other job, and then you work 50, 60 hours a week. Then there's another one, field adjusting, where you go out and inspect cars or houses, and you're basically alone most of your time out in the field. You might meet with a manager once or twice out of the month. Now, Rack Monger, you had a question. After completing your license, how soon were you able to find work? So I completed my license in December 2015, but I really didn't look for work because I was still a personal trainer. So I didn't really care I wasn't trying to get a job as an independent insurance adjuster until maybe August or July or August. And then I was deployed within about 60 days after actively trying to be an independent insurance adjuster. So it took about 60 days for me. Now, with that being said, I had 5 licenses. I had some certifications. I took the time to get qualified, right? Having 1 license is not enough to get qualified, guys, okay? I don't want to sell you a dream about this business. It is competitive. And because it's competitive, you need to take your time and get licensed, and then look for your certifications, because your certifications are what allows you to work with different carriers. I'm using industry lingo, guys. A carrier is an insurance company like State Farm, Progressive, Liberty Mutual. I understand. What certifications did you have? At that time, I had a State Farm auto certification, and I had one certification, I think 1 or 2. I might have had another small certification, but my first deployment was with State Farm. And so I had a State Farm certification, and I did auto PIP down in Winter Haven, Florida. Small town, but it's pretty. So I worked there for a bit. And then from there, I was able to transition to other types of insurance adjusting. Since hurricane season is done, what is the best way to get deployments for new adjusters? Awesome. Billionaire Z, great question. Let's put that on here. Yeah, so that's a great question. Now, what I want everybody to understand is hurricane season is not the only time insurance adjusters get deployed, even as a new adjuster. Okay, there's many different reasons insurance carriers need adjusters, and it's not exclusively for hurricane season. Okay, when I got deployed, when I was a new adjuster, I only worked hurricanes for 3 weeks. I did auto total loss for 7 months. You see, so keep your mind open, keep your options open, because there's many different types of insurance adjusting you can do, and they all don't go around just hurricane season. All right, that's a common misconception when we get into the business. We think that I gotta wait on hurricane season. Well, hail season starts in March. And a lot of people get deployed during hail season. We had a really bad hail season in 2020. For those of you all who live in Louisiana, you know. Those of y'all who live in Texas, Minnesota had a lot of hail. All through the Northeast had a lot of hail this year. And so a lot of new adjusters got to work hail this year. We have 4 hurricanes this year. So it's still a lot of work that's available here. But the main thing is you got to get out there. Okay. Once you get licensed, you got to get out there and get your certifications. Go out and buy 3 or 4 more licenses. I'm not saying buy 10 or 15 or 20 guys, but you need to get your 5 or 6 licenses. And then you need to get on IA firm lists. Okay. You got to get on IA firm rosters. IA is insurance or independent adjuster. You need to get on their rosters. Now, in my course, I have 123 independent adjusting firms, have all their contact information, so you can begin applying to their rosters. Okay, most people when they get out there, they only get on 1 or 2 rosters. If you're on 1 or 2 rosters, you only get 1 or 2 opportunities. But if the people who take my course, they have 123 opportunities to get deployed. So that is what I suggest, Billionaire Z. I hope I didn't give you too long-winded of an answer. Okay. Now, here's the next one. Were you driving to these locations or flying? Now, rails, another great question. For me, again, this is how I do things and how I've done things so far. Whenever I go to work somewhere, I'm going to be there for several months. So I'm driving every time because I don't want to rent a car. Those go into, when I start renting cars and spend a lot of money on living expenses, that cuts into my profit on each paycheck, right? So yeah, I drive normally. I've driven everywhere. I didn't drive to Canada. I flew to Canada because I had to. It was short notice, and I flew to Canada, and then I rented a car from there. What is the application process like to get on an IA firm's roster? Great question, Brooklyn. Yeah, so getting on the application process is pretty quick, man. It's just like any regular jobs application. It's going to ask you a bit about your background. You'll probably upload a resume. Then you'll upload your licenses that you have and the license numbers. You'll upload any certifications that you have. Talk a bit about your experience as an insurance adjuster. If you don't have any experience, that's okay. You're going to say that, hey, I don't have any experience. I'm a new adjuster. This is my license in the state of Alabama. It's my license number. It's my NPN and all the other little things you got to put in there. But that's really it. It can be a bit tedious because you're going to be doing it over and over again. I suggest doing 1 or 2 a day, if possible, whenever you have time. But the more firms that you can apply to, the more licenses that you can have, and the more certifications that you have, guys, the greater chances that you're going to get deployed quicker. All right. Now, if I don't have a car, can I do insurance adjusting at a desk? Blank space. This is a great question, and I'm going to answer it because I'm going to answer a few things. Now, with this business, insurance adjusting, it is not super expensive to get into it. I mean, that means get licensed to get going, but you're going to need some money to get to the locations. So let's say, for example, you live in Florida and you get deployed. They say, hey, blank space, we have a seat for you here in Houston, Texas. Okay. We need you to be here in 36 hours. Because see, guys, when you get deployed, they want you there quickly as possible. You're not normally going to get a week's time. Out of the 25 deployments I've gotten, most of them I had to be there within 3 days. Okay. So you need enough money or a way of transportation to get to wherever you got to go and be there until you get your first paycheck. And so you got to have some reserves there. And so if you don't have a car, that's something that you're going to have to make a game time decision. Hey, I don't have a car, but I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do that, or I'm going to pass. Okay, you can always say no to a deployment, right? If you don't have your money together, if you think it's going to be a little too difficult, guys, that's understandable. Okay, but that's a decision you have to make. All right, Brooklyn, well, let's see what you got. If I have no previous IA experience, can you provide assistance on how to structure a resume? I assume you don't include job experience that's not relevant to insurance adjusting. All right, Brooklyn. It's another great question. I really appreciate that. Now, main thing is when you don't have IA experience, because we all start as new rookie adjusters who don't know anything, that's where your licenses are going to come in at. Hey, I'm Brooklyn Woe. I know I'm new, but I have 4 state licenses. I have 2 certifications. And there's always going to be a space for somebody who's willing to learn and puts themselves out there. I'm not saying there's going to be a space at every IA firm, but if it's 123 of them and you're applying to them all the time and you're following up with them, you're going to get you're going to be able to make a way to get in, because some of these events, some of these hurricanes, these hailstorms, things like that, they're so big. That they need everybody they can get. Okay. Now, with that being said, can I provide assistance on how to structure a resume? Of course I can, Brooklyn. Now I do that for my people who have got my course. Okay, so I'm matter of fact, I'm gonna put my course. I'm gonna put a link to my course in here for y'all, so y'all can have a look at it. Yeah, there we go. That's where you can get my course at. But anyway. Yeah, that's where you get my course at, guys. Oh, hold on. That's the wrong link. Let me change that link up. Hold on. Yeah, I'm gonna change that link real quick for y'all, because that ain't right. That is not the one I wanted on there. There we go. Perfect. Let's I can show you that now. Perfect. That's it. Yeah, that's the link to my course right there. But yeah, Brooklyn, I can definitely help you out with your resume, man. All right. Did you go on site to take any courses with IA firms? What's up, Brandy? Yeah, that would have been a mouthful. That chick 0882. Yeah, Brandy, I did. I went on site for 2 certifications. I've done several webinar certifications. I've done some online, like short online sort of certifications, like kind of like a course. Yeah, so it just depends. Now, that's not a requirement, and during these times, they have made more inroads with like webinars and things like that. So you can do it online. Okay, I've gotten several of my certifications online. All right, Ryan, what's up, man? My son wants to do this when he turns 18. He likes the idea of being a field adjuster. Can he stay local, or is everything a deployment? All right, Ryan, I appreciate you, man. Also, if you would send me a message on Twitter, and me and you can talk. I'll give you a call about this. But I'm assuming y'all still live in California. He can stay local. Now, guys, for field adjusting is way more local than desk adjusting, okay? Because desk adjusting has, I call them hubs, insurance hubs. Certain cities have desk adjusting. Some cities do not have desk adjusting at all for independent adjusters, okay? So most desk adjusting is gonna be in certain cities in the United States, in certain states in the United States as well. Now, with that being said, deployment is just a term I use for when you get an assignment. Yes, there's a possibility if you get on enough rosters that you can go on a roster that would allow you to work locally. For those of you all who live in the South, live in Florida, Texas, Louisiana, there is a ton of work in Texas, Louisiana, Alabama, and Georgia, and Florida, and the Carolinas. You never have to leave that state because there's so much work, and it's usually year-round. Can you do insurance adjusting on a work visa? You're going to have to check with your state's Department of Insurance. Every state is different, okay? Because I'm an American citizen, I just don't know how the work visa process works. But I would check with the state that you want to work in. I would check with their state departments of insurance and see if it's possible. Okay. Also, change the link for your Instagram in the bio section of YouTube because okay, cool. Thank you. I appreciate that. Marquise, I'm coming from a big insurance company where I was doing auto damage adjusting. What's the process like in getting licensed for the states? So you're a staff adjuster. Now, I don't know how staff adjustors licensing works. I don't know if y'all are working under the umbrella of your insurance company or not, but if you are already licensed, all you gotta do is start buying other licenses, okay? So I don't know what state you're in. I don't know if you're working in a state that doesn't need a license or doesn't require a license. But let's say you already have your state license, just buy some more licenses. I mean, if your company has bought those licenses for you, you might want to check to see if you can keep those licenses after you leave a big insurance company, because some let you do it, some don't. But if I were you, unfortunately, I didn't come from the staff adjusting world. I came straight from independent adjusting. If you would, Marquise, send me a message on my Twitter. My Twitter is in my in the comment section of this video. Send me a message and I'll answer a question. And if I can't answer, I'm gonna connect you with some staff adjusters that went independent, and then we'll get you taken care of. Okay. Kayla, what would you say your cons work with working as an IA? All right, the biggest con for me is I am always tired. Okay, I work year round now. Normally I work like 8 or 9 months, and I'll take a 3-month break or 4-month break. I usually sync up my breaks with a slower period, or when I don't want to work a type of claim. Like sometimes I don't like working health season, so normally I'll be off from January to April. So with that being said, the lack of holidays, like during the holiday season, because it's usually hurricanes during holiday season. So normally I don't usually see my family during Thanksgiving, Christmas sometimes. But again, guys, I don't have any kids or anything like that, so I'm not making a big priority to go see my family either. So, but yeah, we work a lot too. And I'm not, guys, I'm not going to sell you on being in this business, okay? I'm going to give you the real. You work a lot. You work minimum 50 hours a week, up to 70 plus hours a week. You are paid very well for your time, but I want y'all to understand this ain't no 9 to 5, 40-hour week job. You're going to be working a lot, okay? And so sometimes that does weigh on me a bit, Kayla. And I have to kind of pace myself, pace my work product, pace my sleeping schedule after I get done with work. I had to pace myself so I can still be healthy and do this job at a high level. All right. How do you know when certain state certifications are available? Do they only notify certain people? Dang, I know you told me your name and I forgot that quick. So that chick 0882. When you apply for these IA firms, guys, when you get on these rosters, they're going to start emailing you. They're going to email you about certifications. Hey, guys, we have a Twitter certification. It's going to be on January 9th at this time. Go to this link, register here. Hey, we got a State Farm certification. It's going to be in Birmingham, Alabama at EA Renfro or at Wardlaw at this time or this time. They're going to be emailing you all. So after you all apply to these IA firms, they're going to be emailing you all the time, okay? Would you suggest the Adjuster's Essentials course or Total Adjuster package on Adjuster Pro M4 1974? You're going to have to send me a link to that one. Adjuster Pro I'm not affiliated with Adjuster Pro in any way. So what you're seeing right now, I need to see it myself. And without me seeing it, I can't suggest exactly what you want, okay? Is there anything super stressful about it? Hey, awesome. Hey, Ryan, thank you. That's a nice segue. Hey, guys. Look, the reason why insurance adjusters make so much money, why they're making, $8, $9, $10, $15, $18,000 a month, is because you're responsible for paying, not just paying, you're responsible for making a decision to write a check with the insurance company's money. So depending, I think the biggest check I've written was $600,000. I had to get it approved by management and a VP and all the other stuff, but I made a decision to write a check for $600,000. That is stressful, okay? Because you have to be right. Everything has to be right. When you're doing this, when you're spending $20,000, $30,000 of somebody else's money, $50,000 of somebody else's money, day in and day out, you have to pay attention, okay? You can't let the customer just get over on you, all right? So you got to still have some customer service there. And you're also dealing with deadlines, all right? Miss Johnson, she's 75 years old. She got a roof blown off her house. It's raining on the inside. That is stressful in and of itself because you know that Miss Johnson is your responsibility. So you got to hurry up, and make a decision. All right, how much am I going to spend on this? All right, I got to talk to this contract. I got to look at this estimate and say, hey, I think you did this right or you did it wrong. If you did it wrong, I need you to hurry up and fix it and get it back to me so I can get Miss Johnson a check for a new roof. Okay, so that can be stressful. And then just dealing with a lot of people who have big problems. Okay, we're not talking about somebody returning a t-shirt. We're talking about, imagine having 80 people and everybody's roofs got blown off. I've had several cat seasons, catastrophe seasons, hurricane seasons like that, where I'm dealing with 100, 150 people who all have serious damage to their homes and they don't have anywhere to stay. And so when you're talking to those people, they're stressed out and you got to give them an answer that works. And you can't just feed them something like, all right, I'm gonna work on it. No, you gotta give them specifics. When are you calling me back? When are you gonna be doing this? When are you gonna be doing that? All right, so you have to build out a structure, a framework of how you talk to these people day in and day out, so you can keep your stress load low and make good decisions day in and day out. Part-time is not an option. Okay, it's just not an option. You're gonna be working but I mean, during the hurricane season, you're making at least $8,000 a month. I don't know what you do on the side. I don't know what you do for your main job, but you make $8,000 a month for 4, 5, 6 months. Take some time off, come back, do it again. I don't think that's a bad gig, right? Hold on, Bobby Ladd. Would you recommend becoming familiar with Xactimate for the software part of things? Okay, guys. I have an Xactimate certification. I think I have an Xactimate level 2 certification. I got certified with that. But before I got my Xactimate certification, I had worked 4 deployments, okay? Never touching Xactimate, all right? So Xactimate is important, but depending on the carrier, you may never work in Xactimate, or you might not work in Xactimate for years. And then you'll get on an assignment or a deployment and you need to work in Xactimate. Okay, so what I would say to you, unless you plan on being a field adjuster, unless you plan on hopping on roofs, and that's what you really want to do, I would not suggest getting Xactimate right out the gate. Okay, it is important. I'm not going to downplay Xactimate, but I also recommend, because Xactimate can be expensive, and Xactimate certifications can be expensive. I think I spent $700. I did an in-person Xactimate training with rope and harness certification as well, so I can get on these high-pitched roofs, these real steep roofs. I got a rope and harness certification of that, and it came with an Xactimate training. But again, it was $700. I don't think you should invest that much money coming out of the gate right when you get a license. I think you should wait a bit, get your first license, start learning what these carriers want. Again, guys, if you're just now joining me, a carrier is an insurance company like State Farm, Progressive, Liberty Mutual. Find out what they want first. If they want you to have Xactimate, I would get the Xactimate certification. But other than that, I would not rush to get Xactimate. Okay. Do you need construction experience? No, you do not need construction experience, Mr. Hendricks. Why? Because insurance adjusting, independent insurance adjusting is not only houses, okay? I know one of my students, she did a consultation on me. Her first deployment was contents. This is contents, okay? That back there, this thing right here, that's contents. Chairs and furniture and all that, that's contents. So she was working with furniture for for floods and things like that, right? So it's not all about that. You can also work in auto, all right? So you don't need construction experience to be in the independent insurance adjusting industry. I'm in California. Do you recommend starting with my home state or Texas? I'm looking to tackle the exam within the next 30 days. I would check with Texas. I do know California has, California makes it a bit harder for people to become independent insurance adjusters. Check with Texas to see if it's possible for you to make Texas your home state. And if it is, I will go for it, okay? But again, guys, the only reason I'm not dodging these questions, we just have 50 states in the United States, and all of them have rules that are a bit different, okay? So I don't want to tell you something that works for one state and it doesn't work for another state. So just check Ian, Nirvana, check with your state, check with California, check with the state of Texas, check Adjuster Pro, do a little research, all right, to make sure you're good, okay? So I want to make sure that you're good and not just because I said so, okay? So let's do some research and make sure we're good, okay? Here we go. What's been the most rewarding part of your career for you so far? Just bought your course. Hey, Robert, first of all, I appreciate you. Thanks so much, man. I'm really here to help all y'all guys. As much as I'm asking y'all answering questions now, I do this for all of my students. I have over 300 students. Whenever y'all got questions, I try to answer them ASAP, okay? Same few minutes. I try to answer questions because I know how many questions I had before when I got into business and I didn't have anybody to really answer them for me. My mom was in the business, but she wasn't really, she was working. She didn't have time to tell me all these things. But anyway, what's been the most rewarding part of this career for you so far? Guys, I'm from a small town. I'm from Tuscaloosa, Alabama. So being able to work and get paid what I feel like I'm worth, and I get to travel and see all these cities. You know, I didn't leave Alabama until I was 26 years old, man. Like insurance adjusted to me in New York City and DC and Baltimore and Denver, Colorado, Houston, Miami, Atlanta, Dallas, Austin, Calgary, Canada. Like it took me all these places, and I got to go there and experience them as a person who lived there, not as a tourist. And so, like all the friends I've made as an adjuster, like people that I met just at work, and then we wound up living together on assignments across the country and work together all over the place. You know what I'm saying? Jeremy, hey, I appreciate you, bro. I really appreciate you, man. You know, and so for me, like being able to enrich my life and be financially stable at the same time, not just financially stable, like I'm debt free now because of this business, because of insurance adjusting. And I'm able to help my family. My grandma called me, Steve, I need some help. You know, being able to help people, help my loved ones when they need me means a lot to me. And not just working hard for the sake of working hard. I get to work hard and I earn a strong income, you know. And again, guys, that's what I want for you all. You all who might be interested in this. I want the same for you. You know, like I don't just do this for me. I do this so I can set my life up. You know, I know many people that put their kids through school, you know, bought houses, paid off cars, paid off houses, all because of independent insurance adjusting. Guys, a link to my course is down below. We're going to go another 10 minutes, okay? So it is 8:38. We're going to go another 12 minutes. So we can go to 8:50, all right? I'm here to answer any questions y'all have, guys. I work for tons of carriers. I think I probably work for a dozen carriers at this point. I've worked for State Farm, Allstate, Progressive, Allstate Canada, Liberty Mutual. What else I work for? I work for Home Depot. I work for a bunch of little small Florida companies, probably like 4 of them. Then one in Alabama. That's 11 right there. Then work for the state of Texas. Let's see what else. That's 12 right there. Maybe 13 or 14. Probably two or three more if I can think of them. But being able to work in these different companies and meet different people. And then another fun thing about this business is not that we don't have a lot of adjusters who work full time. So you get to run into your friends. You get to run into people you work with in Atlanta, you're in Denver, or hey, you know, John. Oh yeah, I know John. Yeah, man. Well, let's get him on this assignment over here because he's cool. Okay, all right. And so, you know, being able to do that and build those relationships over time has been very rewarding for me, guys. Anybody got any questions about anything? Is there anything that I have skipped over, guys? Because I really want to be able to give y'all as much as possible without giving you everything that's in the course. Guys, my course is similar to this, except for I'm going to be really taking out the fluff on these things, guys. My course doesn't have any fluff in it. It's 1 hour long. I got a bunch of 7-star ratings on it. Not 7-star, 5-star ratings. I got 7 5-star ratings on my course. Like I said, it's 1 hour long. It has 6 modules in it. There's homework after every module. I suggest doing the homework first, then going to the next part. It is 1 hour long, but it is not going to take you 1 hour to get through it. It should take you about a month to get through my course if you're doing your homework. Okay. So let's see what else we got for the fingerprinting. I mean, that must be done in the state you're applying for, correct? Brooklyn. I'm gonna tell you again. And guys, again, I'm not avoiding these questions. I'm just gonna keep telling you guys, well, you want to check with your state department of insurance to make sure, okay? Because, for example, I got fingerprinted, I think, for Florida, but I didn't have to go to Florida. It was one of the states, because I know I did Georgia. I got my home state license happened to be in Georgia, but for some reason I think at that time, this is 5 years ago, right? So 5 years ago, I had to get my Florida license. And I think I did fingerprints in Georgia for it, if I'm not mistaken. I might be remembering this wrong because it's been a while. But just check, just do a check, and once you get your license and everything, and once you start applying for this license, they're gonna tell you what to do. Okay, they're gonna tell you exactly what to do. So don't worry, they're gonna make it really clear for you. Yeah, you got my information, man. So shoot me a message. And guys, look, if I miss y'all, or if I don't get to address your questions because you're watching this on replay, you got a few different ways to contact me down below this video. Again, guys, if y'all just now joining me, the Independent Insurance Adjusting course, Roadmap to Becoming an Independent Insurance Adjuster, is below in this link. I have over 300 students, and I'm always taking more students, guys. I'm here to help you all night and day, all right? So don't think this is a wham, bam, thank you, ma'am kind of thing. Like, I really care. I know what Independent Insurance Adjuster did for my life, did for my mom and our family and our lives. And I know that it can do the same thing for you if you put the effort in. If you're willing to put the effort into this business, if you're willing to try, you can make a life for yourself in this business. Is it always easy? No. Is it normally easy? No, not really. But you will be compensated well for your time. And again, like I said, if you try to learn the software systems that they put in place, if you try to follow the objectives that your manager puts out there for you guys, you're going to do well in this business. Okay? You treat people with respect, talk to people like you care, you're going to do well as an independent insurance adjuster. Okay? Guys, all right, any more questions? Y'all seem like y'all winding down on me. Y'all ain't asking no more questions. So everybody must know everything now. So I'm going to give y'all a few more minutes. But anyway, I could tell y'all some stories, but I got a million independent insurance adjuster stories from working auto. I worked auto for Hurricane Harvey. Any of y'all remember Hurricane Harvey? I was down on the ground. That was the largest auto loss in American history. I think it was like 200,000 cars all at the same time because of the floods. And I remember seeing Ferraris, Lamborghinis. I'm talking about like collectible, Corvettes and all that stuff totaled out. We're spending $150,000. We were writing a $150,000 check for a Porsche, $300,000 check for a Ferrari, and we're doing this all day long, every day. We spent millions of dollars working Hurricane Harvey, and I came back and worked Hurricane Harvey again as a field adjuster for property. Now let's see. And I got another question. Best certifications for hail season. It depends on the carrier. Each carrier, which is an insurance company, each insurance company has different requirements. Okay. So it just depends. State Farm has a certification called State Farm Fire. All right. Called State Farm Fire. State Farm Fire allows you to work property claims. It's called fire, but it's not like you're working fire claims. You're working property claims. Okay. That's one. Texas Wind Insurance Association, TWIA. They have another set of certifications. But again, as you get on different IA rosters, they're going to let you know about which certifications that they need, okay? Bobby, you missed the first 5 minutes talking about certification. Okay, I'm going to go into it again, guys. Go a little bit deeper into that. And again, guys, we got 5 minutes. 5 minutes remain, so everybody, let's get your questions in here real quick. I'm going to answer for these next 5 minutes. What you were asking was about the certifications. Each carrier provides certifications. They provide certifications so they know that you know how to handle claims for them. So let's say 123 Insurance has a hail certification. They make that certification So you know how they expect you to handle claims when you arrive. That's what that certification is. It's just saying, hey, we taught you a bit about our system. So when you get here, you know something. Okay, that's what a certification is. And each company gives out those, not each, some companies give out those certifications. Not all. Every company does not give out certifications, but there are some like Xactimate or Stability or a HAG roof certification or it's some other industry certification that you can get. All right. What are things to keep in mind on your first claim? Alexis Alexis. Okay. So when you first start as an independent adjuster, I'm gonna use both examples. I've done both. When you're working inside or outside, I'm gonna use inside, which is desk adjusting. All right. Desk adjusting, when you're working your first claim, normally they're going to give you about anywhere from 50 to 100 claims for your first claim. Okay, so what you want to make sure is keep in mind that they know that you don't always know what you're doing. They're usually going to keep a trainer or somebody there, a manager, somebody there to help you. So the main thing is you want to know is I can ask questions and it's okay to ask questions. It's not okay to ask the same question 10 times. So when you ask, hey, where's this button go? How do I write a check again? How do I change the address? How do I make this note? Ask the question and write the note down in your notepad. Okay. When you do this, it's going to make it easier for you to remember how to get through the process of handling a claim. Okay. So again, guys, make sure you're asking questions when you first start handling these claims because you don't know everything. When you act like you know everything, that's how you make big mistakes and you get fired or you get cut. Okay, we call it getting cut. So again, ask questions. Even now, I've been in the business 4 years, well, almost 5 years now. I handle thousands of claims. I still have to ask questions because each claim has its own variables in it, right? And every situation requires a bit different type of claim handling. Okay. Anybody got anything else for me, guys? We got 3 minutes left. Hey, y'all, I want y'all to know I appreciate all y'all for hopping on, staying with me as long as y'all have. It's a pleasure for me to talk about this business. Like I said, guys, this business has changed my life. It's changed my friends' lives, my family's lives, especially during times like this. During this whole pandemic, all of my friends in the business, we've been busy all year. We've been slammed all year working, getting hired and getting new jobs, getting recruited to work other jobs. So it's a lot of opportunity out there. Okay. Ryan, man, send me a message, man. Send me a message. If you can't send it to me on Twitter, send it to me on YouTube. You can get my number, man, and give me a call, or I'll give you a call and I can talk to you about this more. Okay. Anyway, guys, I think that's it for us. Guys. I hope I answered all your questions. If you're watching this on the back end, on replay, feel free to send me a message. You have a few ways to contact me down below this video. Guys, if you're seeing this, there you go. If you're seeing my little ticker, guys, that is my course, Roadmap to Becoming an Independent Insurance Adjuster. I put a lot of time and effort in. I put everything I know about how to become an independent adjuster into that course. And many people have gotten a lot of value from it. I hope you do as well. And again, guys, I'm here to answer your questions, here to help you. And I hope to see y'all in a seat next to me sometime. I hope I get to see you next to me and we making money, we laugh and joking about where we go for lunch, Anyway, guys, I'm gonna end now. I appreciate all y'all. I'm here to help y'all. There it is. My name is on Twitter, Steven Story. Feel free to hit me up, guys. I appreciate all y'all. Have a good night.